In this video, I'm going to show you how to use GLM 5.2 step by step, how to try for free in your browser, set it up with an API key, and run it inside your own tools. GML 5.2 is a new open model from ZAI, and what makes it stand out is that it scores near at the top of the open models while costing a fraction of the big paid ones. We'll start in the browser where anyone can use it, then level up running GLM 5.2 in Claude Code. I'm Jamie, and let's get into it. Quick context first, so you know what we're looking at. GLM 5.2 comes from ZAI. It's an open model, which means that the weights are public and anyone can host it. That's why you'll see it show up cheap or free in a lot of different places. On the benchmarks, it's the strongest open model out there right now, and it's in the same conversation as the big paid models for coding and long tasks. And now, I'm going to be honest about where it fits in as we go. This isn't a throw everything else out there video. It's a here's a genuinely capable model you can use for very little video. Now, for example, today I'm going to use one made up business so nothing gets confusing. Basecamp Brew Co. is a small batch coffee roaster in a mountain town, and they're launching a new espresso blend called Ridgeline. Now, every demo builds on that one launch, so that's the setup. Let's go use it. The easiest way to start needs no setup at all. Head to chat.z.ai. Links in the description as well. This is ZAI's own chat running GLM 5.2, and there's a free tier you can use right in the browser. One thing worth saying out loud, you'll find others advertising free GLM 5 chat. Stick with the official chat.z.ai so you know exactly what you're using. To access 5.2, you will need to create an account and log in. Once you're in, check the top of the screen. It says GLM 5.2, so you know you're on the right model. Down at the bottom is the message box, a plus button to add files, and a globe to let you search the web. It works like any other chat you've used. Let's give it a real job. Write a launch announcement for a new coffee blend. The business is Basecamp Brew Co., a small batch coffee roaster in a mountain town. And the new product is the Ridgeline Espresso Blend, and it goes live next week. Let's keep this warm and down to earth, about 150 words, and end it with a line inviting people to order on lunch day. Let's go ahead and submit. Hey friends, up here in the mountains, we know a good morning starts with a great cup of coffee. That's why we've been working so hard on something special, and we're ready to share it. So you can quickly take a look at this, and this is a usable first draft from a free chat in the browser. No card, no install. Now, look at the bottom right. There's a deep think setting, and it's switched on to Mac. Now, when I open it, you get two levels, high and max, plus a switch to turn it off and on. Now, max makes the model think the hardest before it answers, so better on tough problems. A little slower for simple writing like this. You don't need it. Leave it as is to follow along, or drop to high for quick replies. Save max for the hard stuff. Let's push it a little further. I'm going to paste in a rough list of customer feedback and ask it to pull out the 3 themes that keep coming up. So here is the feedback. You can see it's a bit of a list here of the different feedback. And I'm just going to go ahead and add on to it at the end, pull out the 3 themes that keep coming up. And I'm going to keep it on max just for the demo purposes here. So this is where the model earns its keep. It reads the whole thing, groups it, and hands it back into something that I can actually act on. One more, because this is the part that people miss. GLM 5.2 has a very large context window, which means you can hand it a long document in one go. I'm going to drop a full launch plan, and it's just this Word document here. I'll bring it over so you can take a look at this. And I'm just going to go and add it as a file inside here. And I'm just going to go and ask for a 1-paragraph summary the team can read in 10 seconds. And there you go. So that's the whole first half. Free in your browser, doing real work for a lot of you. That's already enough. Now, one more thing before we leave the browser. Over on the left, and I'm just going to open this up, there's agent mode right here. It can run tasks on its own and connect to chat apps. And you can see Telegram coming soon, WeChat. So GLM 5.2 can live where your team already talks. There's also this AI PPT right here. This, you can see it adds it to the agent mode here. And what this is a slide maker. And you can see there's different examples right down here, what the looks would look like for them. Now, this is something I want to do a different video on, so make sure you stay on lookout for those when they come out. Now, here's where it gets more interesting. Using GLM 5.2 outside the browser in tools you already work in. To use GLM 5.2 and other tools, you need one thing, an API key. Think of an API key like a password that lets an app talk to your model on your behalf. You generate it once and you keep it private. Treat it like any other password. Back in chat.z.ai, look at the top right and click API. This opens up the GLM coding plan site up in the menu. Just click API key. It's going to ask you to log in again, so you can use Google, email, or GitHub, sign in, and you'll land on this API keys page. There are no keys yet, so just click on Create API Key. We're going to give it a name. I'm just going to go ahead and call this one Claude Code, and we just can hit Create. Copy the whole thing and keep it somewhere safe. This will copy it right here. One rule, don't share it and don't paste someone else's key from a tutorial. Always make it your own. Now the honest part, the free browser chat we just used costs nothing. This step is the paid side. Using a key runs through the coding plan or usage-based billing. And even then, GLM 5.2 is priced well below the big paid models. So that's the main reason people are paying attention. So I need to add some funds to this. You can see my now balance is at 0. I'm just going to go add payment method. So I'm going to go through here and just add a little bit to it. I'm just going to put $10 into this and hit confirm. So now you can see I have $10 in as my balance. The way I'd actually use this day to day is inside Claude Code. If you follow my Claude Code videos, you know it's the tool that reads your files, writes code, and works through tasks step by step. Now, here's the useful part. You can point it at GLM 5.2 instead of its usual model and keep the exact same workflow. To do that, we edit one settings file. So I'm on Windows, and you can do this and you just have to find the same file on a Mac. So I'll open it up in the plain text editor. So the file I'm looking for is just on my C drive, users, Jamie. You can see .claude, and here's the file settings.json. So in Notepad or any other text editor, and I'm just going to open this up. So I need to make some changes to this. This is the Claude Code's setting file. So quick heads up before we touch it. Yours might look different than mine, and that's completely fine. Mine already has a couple settings in it, so yours might be empty or have total different lines. Everyone's is a little different. We're not replacing anything. We're adding one block inside the curly braces alongside whatever's already there. So I'm just adding a comma here, and this is where I'm just going to add this to the block. And you can see where I'm going to add my API key to right here. I'm just going to copy and paste it over. Now, if the file is empty, the whole file is just that new env block on its own. 2 lines do the real work, your key and the address that points to Claude Code at GLM. The timeout line just gives long task room to finish, and if your status check still shows a Claude model name, you add 2 more lines to pin GLM directly. I'll have this down in the description if you want to copy paste this over. One thing trips up people, that's the comma. If I'm adding this after a setting that's already there, and like what I had talked about, you need to add that comma. That line needs a comma at the end or the file breaks. If you're on a Mac, it's the same file in your home folder under .claude. Save it, and the setup's done. Now, open a new terminal. I'm going to go ahead and create a new project folder. I'm just going to call this Ridgeline Launch. And I'm going to change directory to this project folder, and all I have to do is type in Claude now. Here we are right here, GLM 5.2 with medium effort. The reason that it's saying medium effort is because of the JSON file when you saw that I actually had medium as the default, but we can go ahead and change that in here. If I just go ahead and start typing effort, you can see I can select them here, low, medium, high. So if I wanted on high, I could just type high. And notice now we have high. I'll ask it to build a simple one-page site for a new blend, the name, a short description, and a sign-up box for launch day. So this is what I'm going to give it. Build a simple one-page landing site for a new coffee product called Ridgeline Espresso Blend from Basecamp Brew. You can kind of get the idea of all the different things I want in there: dark chocolate, toasted nuts, and a smooth caramel finish, and an email sign-up box for launch day. Okay, so I told it to use plain HTML, CSS in a single page with a warm rustic mountain feel. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. All right, that didn't take very long, 52 seconds. Let's go open our Ridgeline launch folder. Should be right here. And there's the index file, HTML. And here's my page. And it looks like everything kind of was correct of what I asked for, be the first on launch date. We have these parts for navigation on the page. So that was being run by GLM 5.2. And I'm just back over on my billing, and you can see that took approximately 8 cents to create. Claude Code isn't the only place that the key works, because GLM 5.2 uses a standard OpenAI compatible setup. The same API key drops into a lot of other tools the same way. You point the tool at GLM 5.2, paste the key, and you're running. There's also a Llama if you'd rather run things through its cloud with a single command. The point is, one key, lots of doors. You're not locked into any single app. Quick honest detour, because you'll see this everywhere. A lot of videos will tell you to run GLM 5.2 locally on your machine. Technically, you can. Realistically, most of us shouldn't. This is a very large model, more than 700 billion parameters. The full version is over a terabyte, and even the heavily shrunk versions need a serious workstation with a lot of memory. A normal laptop or desktop can't run it, and that's completely fine. Everything I showed you today, the free browser chat, the API key, Claude Code, runs the full strength model without any of that hardware. So if you saw run it locally and felt behind, you're not. You just don't need that path. So that's GLM 5.2, free in your browser and running on your own tools once you're ready. If you're just curious, just start at chat.z.ai and run a few prompts this week. If you want to go further, grab a key and point to Claude Code. Now, I've got a full Claude Code beginner series. If that last part is new to you, I'll link it right here. Now, if this has helped, subscribe so you can catch the next one. I'm Jamie, and thanks for watching.